r/AskReddit. When did you realize you were attractive?
When I was 16. Had a case of ugly duckling syndrome imposed mostly by external environment. My high school boyfriend was legally blind. He could read text by wearing a thick lens and plastering it to his face, or get up real close. On a date he went almost nose to nose so he could see me, and when he did, his eyes just lit up. No faking that. It was very sweet.
I went to a gay bar and drank for free.
I'm not attractive, but a girl did scream, "Hey, you're cute," at me while I was pumping gas the other night. I am sure she was drunk, but I'll be riding that ego boost for at least the next 3 months.
As a more serious answer to the question, getting my first girlfriend helped a lot. I had no idea before that what about me would have been even remotely interesting to other people, but she was incredibly sweet and affirming and knew exactly what to say to make me feel better about myself. Because of her I started seeing how much progress I'd made socially, how much some of the things I'd been trying to do to get myself in better shape physically were actually paying dividends, stuff like that. Now that that relationship has ended, I find myself doubting some of those things again from time to time, but I also realize that that could also just be me being self-defeating.
My dad started pointing out how many girls were checking me out whenever we were in public. I was always oblivious to it, mostly because I was in a long-term relationship and never really cared. Initially I laughed at the notion, but a few of my girlfriends have started to point out the same.
When I was told I was the highest quality meat at the gym by an absolute babe, I felt so objectified. It was great.
In high school, my friends and I stumbled across a rally for 9/11 truthers and started to argue with them. At one point one of the truthers got fed up and told us to go away and get a life. He turned to me and said, "You're a good-looking guy. Why don't you go get a girlfriend?" It's rare to get that kind of compliment from someone who's pissed at you.
You must be fine as fudge to hear that from someone angry at you.
When I heard my little son, 6, tell his friend, "No, I do not look like my mummy, I look like my dad, we are both handsome."
I heard when you're attractive, people are afraid to talk to you. I don't have many friends. Clearly I'm attractive.
Only over the last year or so, when multiple people started telling me you could do better when showing pictures of exes that I deemed to be attractive. When reasonably attractive girls asked me out. When my mates started telling me that I'm a good-looking dude. I didn't have my first kiss till I was nearly 21. I was a late bloomer and definitely not attractive in school. I still don't entirely believe it, to be honest. But enough people are telling me it that I'm starting to. So hey ho.
21, a late bloomer, huh? Sugar.
When my SO said I was ravishing, very extinguished.
Did he at least set the radishes on fire first?
So for the purpose of clarity I'm gonna have to do away with any kind of humility. So I realized I was kind of attractive when people that I thought were attractive seemed romantically interested in me. I wasn't a good-looking or cool kid, but when I hit 16 I started getting way more attention from girls that I thought were hot. When I hit 19 I knew I had become really attractive because, and this is something that I was only able to recognize because I'd seen it happen with a buddy of mine who had always been a good-looking guy. People would talk about it, my good looks, as if it were fact or a foregone conclusion. I think that's when you know someone's really good looking. When you go out to the club and other guys assume that the hottest girls are interested in you, or girls assume you've got a long list of other girls lining up for a date, or people say things like, "You should be a model." Another big one from when I was younger, early 20s, was older women and gay men will just straight up say it. I think it's because they know you're probably not interested in them, so the uncomfortability of rejection is taken off the table so they can be very open, but yeah, they'll just blurt it out like it ain't a thing.
Oh, that's definitely true. When people act like you're full of lollipop when you say you're not that attractive is another big one. Older women definitely shoot their shots so causally it throws me off too.
Am I the only one who wants some pics to see if they match?
I had really bad skin for most of my life, and finally got on Accutane. That stuff is magic. Within 6 months, my skin went from gross to near perfect. My life changed pretty much overnight. I pretty much had a clear line of when I was unattractive to at least decent. I didn't really know how to react to people actually talking to me and looking at me. I made this album a few years ago to show the before and after, and since then I have gained confidence and started eating better and working out. Here is a more recent picture of me. It is amazing how much my stupid skin impacted my life. Anyway, here are those pics you asked for. Wow. Thanks everyone for the kind words. I didn't think the internet could be this nice. You are all beautiful.
When I wasn't attractive anymore.
When a guy who incessantly bullied me as a kid for being fat tried to hit on me as an adult. He didn't recognize me, turned him down in front of all of his friends. Best feeling ever.
Well, I guess it all started the first time I went through the second grade. I caught my reflection in a spoon while I was eating my cereal, and I remember thinking, wow, you're ridiculously good looking, maybe you could do that for a career.
When a few of my female friends told me I used to have such a crush on you in high school. In fact, a lot of girls did. I never knew about it, so I never made any passes at them and went through high school thinking I looked like a potato.
I've had to put less and less effort into conversations over the years.
Around the same time I learned to lie to myself. Alright folks, I did it for the sweet internet points. I'm not that bad. I could stand to lose some weight, starting a family will do that, but the local ladies still invite me out, which leads to some rejections.
When I took a photo for one of those websites with algorithms and the website said I was stunning.
I was walking past some guys on campus throwing a frisbee and one guy missed it and said, "I'm sorry, I just got distracted by the most beautiful girl I've ever seen." He was hot.
When I first started working a year ago at my current job, I didn't talk to anyone. One day 2 girls tell me to hang out with them during break. Became friends, added them on the good old Facebook and messaged them for a good month. Eventually find out they stopped being friends for a while and had a huge argument over me about who saw me first, and basically had dibs on me. I felt like a piece of meat, a handsome piece of meat.
A really cute girl in my psych class put her hand on my shoulder in a conversation once, gave it a squeeze and then glanced at my shoulder. She made this little ooh sound, her eyes kinda glazed, and she started just kinda holding her hand there, lightly squeezing. I was pretty uncomfortable about it at this point and asked if she was okay. She just sorta smiled and said, "Yeah, much better thanks," pats my shoulder and turns away. I asked another girl what that was about and she just said, "Really? Girls like hot guys."
Don't find myself attractive, but my SO thinks I'm beautiful even though I don't see it. And I think he's handsome.
Same with my wife. I think she's drop-dead gorgeous, but she thinks of herself as plain Jane. Anyone hitting on her is desperate to get attention in her view and going for the low-hanging fruit. She is just grateful that I find her attractive. After 13 years of marriage, I've sort of accepted that she will never come around. I definitely married up.
When I took the picture that is my current Facebook photo.
Your username's telling me the opposite.